Hey everyone, you're watching Soundwaves TV. Chasta here. I'm so excited to talk with Finkel. Am I saying it right, by the way? Finkel, not Finkel.
Yeah.
You are right.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I watched the documentary. We'll get into it. Jane and Brian, how are you guys?
Great. Thank you for having us.
Oh my gosh,
it's truly our
thank you.
pleasure.
So you just drove up from LA.
We did.
Nice little drive up I-5.
Yep.
But you're far from LA. Like LA's your home now and has been for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But let's start in the beginning. Because where you're from is so much a part of your story and your music. And I'm so excited to dig into that. So let's go back a little bit and start right there.
Yeah. Would you want to?
Well, we're Michigan kids,
Yep.
and which means a lot of different things. But I grew up on an island called Mackinac Island that has no cars and about 500 people, and it's mostly a national forest, and it is just about as different from LA as you can get.
Yes.
And Brian grew up vacationing there, so we most certainly passed each other probably many times in our lives. We're destined to
you
be
were
here.
destined.
That's right.
Yeah. That's amazing. So you grew up where?
I grew up in Lansing, so
Okay.
downstate, capital area. If you're familiar at all with the state of Michigan,
Yeah.
And as Jane mentioned, I would go up during summers. You know, the 4-month window that you have to enjoy outdoor weather, and we would go up to the island and bike around. And it's really a pristine, touristy sort of location that completely shuts down during the winter.
Yeah.
And honestly, the winter months are my favorite because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's magical.
Yeah.
I mean, truly, I just got done watching your documentary. I stumbled across you guys because Dennis found you, which is oftentimes the case. He's so great at that. And he
Thanks,
was
Dennis.
like, yeah, these guys have a documentary and it's really, really cool. And I have to be honest, maybe the first band on the show that I've interviewed that had something like that. Most times I'll interview a band where I can't dig up. They're so independent or so local that there's not a lot online to dig up to find. What a nice, refreshing moment to just kick back and go, tell me about Jane and Brian. And it was like all this stuff.
More than you even wanted to know, probably.
Probably.
It was a really interesting time to be filmed because it was the middle of the pandemic and I was personally going through a crisis, emotionally, personally.
Yeah, like the rest of the world.
Yeah, and just trying to figure out also who I was without working because I was trying to find work and I couldn't, and all of these, different parts of what it is to be an artist. And our filmmaker friends were also out of work.
Yeah.
And so they said, could we make a documentary of you going back and writing this album? And we said, yeah, of course, because we've always used our music as an avenue to highlight the work of other people who we admire.
Yeah.
It didn't occur to me until afterwards. It was like, oh my gosh, that means I'm going to be filmed.
All the time, whether I like it or not. Like, what did I sign up for? It was fascinating listening. So I listened to a lot of your music first, and then I watched the documentary.
Cool.
And it was so fascinating to then watch the documentary and see, at first, back up. You're a band, and I don't say this very often at all. Your band, I could not put my thumb on. I couldn't figure out where it came from. Most times you hear a band and you're like, I can hear they're influenced by the Stones, or this is over here the Grateful Dead, or this is Shaka Khan, whatever it is. You can pick. I had nothing. I had nothing,
That's
which is
cool.
a great thing.
Yeah, wow.
No one can do that anymore. Like I can't even think of another band where I'm like, I all new, totally new.
We love to let it just take us for a ride and kind of see where it ends up.
Yeah, I can definitely tell. But then I saw the video and you going through the forest and getting sound of, shoes walking through the snow or the leaves or whatever. And all of a sudden I was super inspired to think about the world in a different way and listen to the world. This is a funny story. I told them before we went live here, there's a little orb over my head. I think you can see it right there. And it makes a sound, like a little swooshy sound. And I was sitting in here before anyone got here and I'm by myself and I'm like, I should put that microphone in front of that. It was totally inspired by you guys.
Yes.
What makes you do that? Is it pure curiosity?
That was the first time we'd done it. That was
That was the first time.
Because all of our projects, all of our bodies of work are, until very recently, are all part of a specific writing workshop with specific parameters that we place on ourselves and then write music within those parameters.
Okay.
And so that was our first time doing that. And we wanted it to be really a true body of work about and for a place that is bastardized is really not the correct word because it feels very negative. But what I mean is that places that are primarily vacation spots are really understood in a Disney World sort of a way, kind of a one-sided sort of a picture. And we really wanted to create something that felt multifaceted and from different angles. And we thought, what better way to do that than to let the island speak
for
to us.
itself.
And we had been transparently building this idea of this docu-series concept since 2018. We were applying for NSF grants. We had a big aspiration to actually go down to Antarctica. We still have a huge aspiration to go down to Antarctica and collect sounds, work with the scientists down there to put together a record that is, kind of akin to some of the topics that we're really passionate about, like the environment. And there are, in just a little bit of research, there are these seals down there that when they're communicating with each other underwater, they sound like synthesized drops that you hear in electronic music. And so to be able to utilize that, not necessarily have it be a fictitious sound that's created in a DAW, to actually capture that and have it be a communicative pattern from these seals was like, our entry point into really getting excited about trying to utilize our natural environment to create music, and vis-a-vis us understanding the world to be this really musical place that is often overlooked and
even by us before that.
Right.
And now, like you said, once you turn it on, you really can't turn it off. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, there's melody in everything that you hear. In every sort of thing that's around you, there's a very specific kind of voice that wants to come out of that sound.
It made me realize that the world is always humming. We're just too busy to listen.
Yes. Yeah, truly. And we had, previous to the Islanders record, like Jane mentioned, these parameters that we put on our projects, they're all kind of through the guise of getting to get to a point with our creativity that gets us outside of our own heads. We're not just writing another love song. We're not just doing something that is algorithmically driven and benefits, us making it to some stage. We want to actually say something with our art that, and dig a little bit deeper. And, we've done a couple of different projects outside of the sound capture stuff. We worked for our Backpack of Snacks EP. We wore colored lenses for 7 months and tracked music and just trying to see how our
about a month in each color.
Just for the purpose of understanding, how the world might look differently, and then thusly our creativity might change, and then our output would be different. So we're constantly trying to find new ways to create that expand our worldview a bit.
It's funny. I actually wrote this down on my phone. I hardly ever bring out notes. In fact, I don't even take notes all that time. But you said something that I thought was so powerful. You were like, our ears are tuned differently. And I thought, your brains are also tuned differently. Because people just don't, I don't think they think like, oh, I'm going to put on colored glasses and see how it changes my brain, therefore my creativity. Like, that's just not normal, but I mean that in the best way. I mean that you took the idea of rose-colored glasses and really freaking ran with it.
That's kind of what we're all after with this, is that, if there are other lives that happen to us beyond this, I just am not aware of them in this one. So we just want to, there's so many ways that you can experience this world, and so many ways that you can create and make music or make dinner or anything. And
so why not?
And so why not give it a try? And we've gotten lucky enough that we have, our spouse that wants to do it too. It's like,
very fortunate.
You want to wear glasses for 7 months?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Right.
I mean, your couple goals, and certainly musician couple goals, I would say that for sure.
If you like that sort of thing.
Not for the faint of heart.
If you're into experimenting, it's all good. That's so funny. I learned a couple things about the two of you, and one of them was work ethic. Watching Islanders, the documentary, coming from where you're from, that island, it is so much a part of you in the fact that you have to do everything on your own. You have to almost fight to exist there. Such is life. Right? You have to, it's either you pull yourself up by the bootstraps or you freaking don't. And I've learned recently with a couple of different personal moments in my life where I really appreciate a work ethic. And I also equally really appreciate somebody who's willing to take a chance. And the two of you do both of those beautifully. Maybe even without second thought. It seems like it just comes natural. You're like, all right, let's go for it, whatever it is.
Oh, there's a lot of thoughts.
Well, you make it look easy.
I think we're also just really scared of the alternative. I think the alternative of not trying is worse. Is a really frightening premise, and that's actually what we were talking about our song "Slow Down," our new one. That is a note to ourselves about what would happen if we did slow down in some ways and left some time for ourselves, because the alternative to, when you do have such heavy goals, such intense goals and such intense work ethic, it's really easy to put a lot of things aside as well.
Lose yourself for the the go of it all.
Yep.
I find myself doing that.
I could sleep 4 hours. I don't need more than that.
Yeah.
And you're like, I do.
Nobody needs to eat.
1,000%. I do that all the time in so many ways. And the documentary Married with Slow Down, that song, I'm not kidding, in the first 20 seconds, the lyrics of that song, I was like, oh boy. Like, I felt that one in my heart because it's so intense about, what I think about it, I guess I should say. I don't know what your intentions are, but, basically you're consuming in the video, you're consuming so much, and it's all over you. You're wearing it. It's a mess. You're a hot mess. You can't slow down. You're just panic, right? And sometimes I feel like that in my life. Like, I'm trying. This has turned into a therapy session. Welcome to my TED Talk. Good. But sometimes I feel so much about that, and it was really nice to hear that in a song and go, I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
And it's great that translated so well on video and through the lyrics, because you nailed it. I mean, that's exactly how we've been feeling, and a big reason why the song came out so quickly and with ease, because we needed to say it. You needed to say it,
and you needed to slow down too, and so did I. I looked up the meaning of Finkel. Do you know what it means?
We have a meaning that we've been told, but I don't know if it's the meaning.
I don't know if this is true. It's according to Google.
Because it's your
maiden name, right?
Yes, it's my maiden. Oh yeah, you saw the song. It's my maiden name. So I took his last name when we got married, and then the band took mine. And I think it means diamond.
Okay.
And a diamond peddler.
Oh, okay. I think you said that in the documentary. Google, according to Google, at least in German, it means to make sparks.
Oh.
And I thought, holy shit, if that's not the best way I would explain the two of you, is to make creative little sparks in the world.
I love that.
Right?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's great.
It's a lovely image.
Your next album is called Sparks.
Yeah, that's right.
But I loved that. I was like, God, I mean, it just kind of bowled me over when I saw it. I thought, wow, that's such a beautiful description. So I didn't know if you had ever heard that.
Thanks for offering that to us.
We
hadn't. Up to this point, it was like a shiny diamond peddler, and we thought that was hilarious, and we were rolling with that
great.
too. So.
I mean, it all kind of goes together. My great grandfather was a blacksmith, and so it comes from like the world of a blacksmith.
Oh wow!
Finkel,
Yeah, sure.
To make sparks.
Oh wow!
That's the concept. Yeah, really read into it.
Well,
So there you go. We'll see where that goes.
We'll have to go record in some blacksmith.
I know, blacksmith shop.
Yeah.
Get that sound of the sparks coming off the metal.
We have it in our family. We have jewelry making.
Oh,
That's
there
true.
you go. See?
Good point.
There we go. Making sparks.
I love it. All right, tell everyone where to find you, where to see the documentary, and all that good stuff.
Yes.
Well, you can find us at finkelband.com, and all of the stuff is easily available there. Islandersfilm.com has the documentary, and we're all over socials, all over the streaming platforms. So we've hopefully made it easy enough for y'all to find us, even though we're independent artists.
I love it. You're very easy to find. You can watch the documentary straight from the website, which is what I did. It's right there.
Killer, yeah.
Awesome.
I hear a doggy making a noise, reminding us that we have a dog reveal to do. So let's bring out
her little head.
She
fell asleep under a chair.
She's so cute and so calm. We're in this room on TV doing an interview, and she's just back here hanging out. I mean, da da da. Come on, give it up,
baby. She's very grunty. Let's see.
We're going to be giving this dog away to the next.
We've never done a giveaway, but here we are.
Right.
Oh my God, she's so precious.
Well, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you guys, truly.
Yeah.
This has been, I'm so excited. It's been spectacular to talk to you, and to watch you guys grow is going to be really fun. We're
Pleasure
very
to meet
excited.
you. Thank you for having us.
So shall we show the crazy video from Slow Down?
Would love to.
It'll hit you in the face, quite literally. It's Finkel, Slow Down. You're watching Soundwaves TV. We'll be right back.
Please consider helping us continue our mission of lifting and supporting independent music by becoming a Soundwaves patron. In exchange, you'll be the first to see and hear all of our weekly shows, as well as have access to exclusive content. Just go to patreon.com/SoundwavesTV.